We're back at the Choice Show. You're listening on 92.7 FM and 95.3 FM HD4. Also, TuneIn Radio. Download that app. TuneIn Radio is awesome. You can hear Nooga Radio anywhere, anytime, and listen to the Cindy's Toy Show. We're on Facebook. I'm getting that going right now. It's there. We're live streaming on YouTube, so hi to YouTube. And I am Cindy. It is Cindy's choice to make a positive impact in our community. Absolute passion. With a special focus on cultivating community collaboration. So much more together when we pull together. There's so much more can happen. And I'm distracted for fidgeting with Facebook there. I'm eager to get to my guest. We have a lot to talk about, Britt. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to Chicken Salad Chick. Britt Bradshaw, by the way, is joining me here. Hi, Britt.
Hi, how are you?
I feel like everybody knows you because you've been on with me before. Britt Bradshaw is one of my favorite heroes, and I like hanging with heroes, so I invited him here today. He's one of our firefighters in the area, and we've got a lot to talk about today. But first, a quick shout out to Chicken Salad Chick for supporting this platform. And you're a manly man that eats chicken salad, aren't you?
Absolutely. Chicken salad chick.
Exactly. I have a lot of guys that they're like, oh, I'm not a chicken salad person. I said, no. They cater exactly because the buffalo barkley, the spicy the jalapeno holly or something like that. I forget now because I'm a cranberry Kelly girl, and I love the classic Carol. Which one of the things I love about the classic Carol, very healthy choice, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten. And my cranberry Kelly, they just add almonds and cranberry, so I'm doing really good with that. And again, we're so proud of Josh Patton for opening his 3rd location in our area at Erlanger Mall. It's being very, very well received there. We've got the Gun Barrel location, and of course, you can find Chicken Salad Chick downtown with their convenient curbside pickup and a wonderful catering option. Something for everyone because they have pimento cheese, BLTs, turkey pesto sandwich, yummy salads. The grape salad and the broccoli salad are very popular. So check them out at Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com. Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com. And as always, if you need information on anyone on my show, Cindy at cindyschoice.com. Cindy at cindyschoice.com. Okay, Britt, let's jump in.
Let's do it.
First of all, thank you. Thank you for coming and being on the show because I'm sincere about loving hanging with heroes. Had a great hero with Teresa Biggs and everything that she's doing.
Absolutely. For
our city and our homeless community. I had the wonderful honor of having Chief Roddy on last week, and I just I appreciate Nooga Radio. Thank you, Nooga Radio, for allowing.
Thank you for having me too.
You're welcome.
This is
and
great.
I appreciate this platform to support community initiatives so much. And I want to support our first responders with every opportunity. And you and I are working on some platforms there, which I'm really excited about, and I appreciate your help there.
No problem.
But what we want to start out talking about are William and Shay. And I'm going to let you say their last name because I'll mess it up.
Crackle.
It's William and Shay Crackle. And I'm just going to hand it over to you, Britt, and let you tell their story.
Well, William is a Chattanooga firefighter, and he's also a military. He was in the Marine Corps, and he was. I guess it's been they've been going through some things here recently with Shay is having some medical conditions, and they were really. She was not getting through multiple. And finally, I think through Vanderbilt, she was given a diagnosis after being put through a long road of not knowing what it was, and
been there,
and so they finally found that she has a rare condition. I hope I'm saying this right. Gastroparesis. The problem is that the medications that were given were more just to help the symptoms, from what I understand.
I have a similar story. And and it's hard, and it's I don't ever like that. This is sensitive because I don't ever sound, I appreciate our doctors, for goodness sakes. We need our doctors, and
Sure.
And I honor doctors on this show. They're part of the heroes that I honor, and I love having like the Erlanger surgeons and so forth on the show. But the same thing happened to me and I was down for the count for years, and finally had to break free of the medications, and kind of start over clean to get it figured out what was going on with me. And in that particular case, the medications were making me worse. Now, an actual doctor told me later that, Cindy, this is the challenge, is finding the right kind of doctor, because most doctors aren't trained in this area. They're trained in this area.
Right.
And the only reason she had an understanding from it is because her sister had gone through something similar that I was. And I go, it's our responsibility. It's not on the doctors. And that's hard to hear, because the doctor isn't, they are trained in their specialty, in their field.
Right.
And it's just, I refer to it just like the Bible. You go and you listen to the pastor, but you go and you dig in that Bible for yourself and get your own guidance figured out.
Right.
And it's tricky, but it's that way in every field. They more than ever, once you expect, if somebody says they're a professional, they're an expert in this field, you just want to 100% trust that. But I was trying to remember Darren Ledford's, he had quoted something about you trust but validate, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We got it. It's up to us. The responsibility is on us. So It sounds like William and Shay have gotten led to a direction
through, I guess, just networking with other people who have gone through the same thing. They have discovered a doctor in Vancouver, British Columbia. Of course, that's a to take someone who is already sick and fly them across the country. And it's not that, the doctor told them that they've had really good results. They've talked to other people who have had really good results with I guess it's like an experimental drug. It's something that's not approved by the FDA in the United States, but the results are there. And so she's at the point, or they are at the point, that they're willing to try anything. And that comes with a great expense. And if anybody knows the first responder community, they know that there is such a brotherhood there.
Yes.
And that's why I'm here today. This guy is a brother, and I'm here to try to help and put it out there that he is, they're in despair at this point. And they know that the trips are going to be multiple trips. It's not, they're actually in Canada right now. They left on the 1st for the first treatment. And, the doctors told them there's going to be multiple trips.
And what you're doing, Brett, you're being an advocate. And, thank you. Thank you for stepping up and being an advocate, because, it's just like talking about homeless issues on the first half of the show. And what I shared with Police Chief Roddy, when we talked about, he's very familiar with the issue. I didn't have an advocate, and you can't plead your own case.
Right.
You just can't. And of course, that Jesus is my advocate, and that was what I was getting. The purpose in my situation was just getting tighter with him, because I have a big vision, and you got to get really tight with God if you want that big vision to come through for him. So but we need an advocate, and you're willing to step up and be an advocate for this couple, and so thank you for doing that. That's what I'm trying to share with this platform. Teresa is an advocate for the homeless, and you're being an advocate for someone in your brotherhood. And if somebody could reach out and help them in some way, what would be the best way to go about that?
They do have a GoFundMe account set up. It's under William Crackle. It's CRACKEL. Or if you're not familiar with the GoFundMe and how that works, or if you don't want to use the GoFundMe process, you can contact myself, and we will make sure, through the right channels, that the funds get to them and they get used in the right manner. I will leave my email address is tbradshaw@chattanooga.gov. I'm
going to repeat that, tbradshaw at Chattanooga.gov.
Correct.
And again, I want to remind people, you can always contact me at Cindy at cindyschoice.com. Cindy at cindyschoice.com to get in touch with anyone on this platform.
But thank you for, like I said, thanks for letting me, put that out, and hopefully, there'll be some people out there that, and if it's anything, it's just your prayers and your support and anything else for such a great family. There can't be enough prayers and enough, just like I said, just support. And they're going through a lot. They have a young daughter who doesn't really understand, and she's doing really well from what I understand, but it's tough on her. So there will be some things coming up. I will say this: the fire department, our union, there's going to be some things coming on the calendar. So keep your eyes open for some events that they've talked about, some different fundraisers that they can do for them in the community.
Be sure and share those with me, and I'll
Sure.
get the word out the best I can.
Sure.
And again, Cindy at cindyschoice.com if you're in a position to help. I want to help a hero. And again, they've got my prayers, and I want to help however I can with anything that y'all get going. Let me know, and I'll put the word out the best I can.
Thank you.
Now we've got some other great things to talk about with Britt Bradshaw today. And one of those being is it's fall back time. Fall
right.
back fall.
And
of course, this weekend we put our clocks back. But there's another significance to fall back weekend, Britt.
In the fire service, we always tell people and try to put a public service announcement out every time we change your clocks, change your batteries and your smoke detectors. It's really important. If you do it twice a year, your batteries should never run down. So it's just kind of one way for us to remind people and for you to remember to always have the fresh batteries in your smoke detectors.
It's a good time to remember. And folks, this is so important. If you've never experienced a fire in your home, as I have, we hear about how horrible the smoke is and how quickly it overtakes you. But it still catches you by surprise. It's an instant. It's an instant that your breath is gone. And it's just so important to have every second that you can if something like that happens. And another thing that I like to remind people, replace those batteries so you at least have some kind of warning. But something that I got reminded of recently that I'd kind of forgotten was about sleeping with your bedroom door closed.
Right.
That's very significant because if something does happen, you're going to hear the fire alarm because they're ear-piercingly loud. We all know how annoying those can be when they go off and you can't get them off. But that holds that intense heat out to some degree. I forget how much difference it makes a huge difference.
It does.
To where just on the other side of the door is super intense, and you can survive in that closed room for a while, long enough to get on the phone or get out the window or for someone to help you or something.
Right. And a side note to that, if you live in the Lookout Valley community this weekend, I know today they're passing out smoke detectors for anybody that needs them. If you actually need a smoke detector, you can contact our fire prevention department at the fire department, and they'll see what they can do. All of our fire trucks carry extra smoke detectors on there for people in need. So
I didn't realize that. That's awesome. So there's no excuse not to have a fire detector in your home. It's very important, especially if you have elderly or children. And I even hate to say that because nobody is safe
right.
without some kind of warning. And fires happen so easily. I'd shared with Britt about a bed catching on fire in our home, and it caught on fire from underneath, which you couldn't get to the flame really. But those I experienced firsthand of, even with the fire department dragging that bed out and completely saturating it they spent a long time there. It still smoldered all night long.
Right.
I mean, it was a safe contained, but it still smoldered, and the smoke, billowed from it all night. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really significant. And I encourage people to definitely, when you fall back and get that extra hour of sleep this weekend, I love that. be sure and change your batteries in your fire detectors. Also, this is a season where it's good to mention about preventing forest fires. Or I love a barn. I love a barn fire. It's a bonfire. It's we did that a lot. I'm from the hang gliding community, where we spend a lot of time up on the mountains,
Right.
and part of the fun of that community, and the flying is awesome.
Right.
It's just an experience like no other. But at the end of the day, when you got the bonfire going and there's the "there I was" stories, it's one of the best parts about it. So we do that a lot.
Right.
So, and there's been some scary moments, I have to tell you. I'm like, all right, are they paying attention over there? What's going on here? But so what is the issue there? I mean, you do have to have a permit, right?
You do have to have a permit. And a lot of it is outside the permit. Use common sense. Have a water source, those type things.
Yes.
Fire extinguisher, which is another thing that we've been seeing in the news. Kitty fire extinguishers just had a recall of over 40 million fire extinguishers. You can, if you do have a fire extinguisher in your home, it may be a good idea to go to kidde.com. It's KIDDE.com, and you can go on their website and you can check the model numbers and match those with the model number on your fire extinguisher, and you can see if yours has been one that's been recalled.
Oh my goodness, folks! So, be sure and look into that. How many have been recalled?
Over 40 million.
Yikes! That's serious. Make sure that you do have a good functioning fire extinguisher in your home for sure. Another thing that I want to bring up with you, Britt, is I know it's a little early for this, but it's something I'm very excited about already, because I'm going to I participated to some degree this year, but I'm going to participate a whole lot more next year, is the 9/11 stair climb. And again, I know it's early, but I couldn't help but
too early.
Stick that into my notes, because I want to go ahead and when I have opportunities and start mentioning this event and encourage sponsors to come on board for next year.
The sponsorship is the hardest part for us. As firefighters, it's myself and I have another coordinator that helps me out. We have the hardest time with marketing. That's why we have Cindy, because
see, I'm going to be your advocate. You're the brotherhood advocate. I'm going to be y'all's advocate.
We can run the stair climb, and we've done it for, I think next year will be our 5th year, I believe, here in Chattanooga. The event itself is we have it typically in the middle of September. It's to honor the 343 firefighters that selflessly gave their lives on 9/11.
Yes.
So it's an unorthodox event. It's really a fun event. I mean, a lot of people do a lot of things, but it's
fun
really,
in a powerful, emotional kind of way, because one of the things I was not prepared for, and I didn't climb this year. But I did go up a couple flights of stairs and saw where the pictures of the actual firefighters that lost their lives, the lost heroes, their pictures are on the wall. So as each firefighter and each civilian is going up the stairs, how many times? How many flights?
110 stories.
The 110 stories. The walls are lined, so they're remembering what they're doing it for. It's powerful. It's very personal. And I appreciate so much that they're not forgotten. They're not forgotten, and their families are not forgotten.
We promised on 9/11 to never forget. Easy is it to forget?
I connected with a firefighter. You'll probably know who this is. Where is he from? Somewhere out of the country. Australia, maybe.
The one that was at the climb?
Yes.
He was from Sweden.
We connected on Facebook, and he's going to come back next year. And I'm like, wow. And he went to Atlanta and got involved in that one. And this needs to be that kind of opportunity. That this should be something, every year that we don't forget, especially with recent occurrings in our country. We need to stand together. And you know what? And I say stand together, and I'm not political at all. That's not what my platform is for. Right. But there is one, the topic of the national anthem. That is one I'm like, you know what? It's just hard not to speak up on. That's not a political issue. That's a personal issue to me.
Correct.
But to me, that is the one time we all stand in unity.
Right.
We all stand together for our American national anthem, and that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that being attacked. And I am very sympathetic to I've gone through, I've been there.
Right.
I can identify with so many different challenges. And but there's other ways to do it than through our national anthem.
Right.
Our unity being attacked is huge. We've got to stand together. And there's so much division in our country right now. And I love that opportunity. I'm glad I'm involved in organizations where, we stand and we say a prayer and we do the Pledge of Allegiance before every meeting. Right. And for that moment, we've got that unity. It doesn't matter who's in the room and what their beliefs are or what their politics is. For that moment, we stand together and we honor our flag and we honor our God. And I appreciate that, and I don't want that attacked.
Right.
and
the that's one thing about our stair climb. We have people from all over the country. We have people from all walks of life. We have civilians. We do have, firefighters. We have it's a family thing. It's a community thing. But again, going back a little bit to sponsorship, anybody that would like to sponsor, we do start getting our sponsorship together around the first of the year. So if you would like to be a sponsor of the stair climb, please contact me or let Cindy know, and we'll be able to get you some information out. And I know, like I said, it's kind of early, but we realize in the last few years with marketing, the earlier you get out, the better you are, because if you wait until the last minute,
yes,
a lot of times that money or those funds
I'm going to talk about it every chance I get. And Cindy at cindyschoice.com. I'd be glad to connect you with these guys. Oh my goodness, time has so gotten away. We have so much more to talk about. I'll have to have you back on. We're going to talk about kinds of calls, and we'll just leave a little teaser for folks because it's crazy because the fire department gets called out on like every call, right?
We do.
It's not just the fire calls. You're called on every call.
We are called on. Most people in the community don't really realize that not only called out on fire calls, we're called out on all medical calls. We're called out. We do current or special events. We do everybody wants a fire truck at their event, which is wonderful. That's our way.
Awesome. I love a fire truck at an event.
It's our way to get out into the community and let the kids and let the community see what we do and
exactly
what we're about.
Well, we are down to 20 seconds, so I'm going to wrap it up. But thank you so much, Brett, for coming on. God bless William and Shay Crackle, and please contact me at Cindy at cindyschoice.com if you can help there. I look forward to having Britt back soon as again. I love hanging with heroes. And I thank my listener. Thank you. Thank my listener for joining us. And we'll see you next week. That's a wrap.